But having said that, I'm excited to play Twin Snakes. Not weirdos, Metal Gear Solid fans, because MGS is God tier and anti-imperialist based. Yeah, okay, all of the Metal Gear games are anti-imperialist. What are you talking about? You missed the DLC announcement, man. What? The hit game Power Simulator has just revealed its newest expansion will be set in filthy, festering bedroom of streamer Asmongold. I'm not sure we'd have the equipment to handle this one. Wait, this is from August 29th, 2024, man. Gabe Newell traveled down on his yacht for an announcement during this week's events. Get hyped. Here's a summary of your takes during State of Play. Hasan so far, too scary. Final Fantasy doesn't move me. I don't like 2D games. Boring. I don't like fighting games. Mortal Kombat is millennial slop. Don't like the color palette. Gay and woke. Gamers are disgusting. Claims he's doing a Metal Gear 007 game. I don't care about Marvel IP. Rival sponsored, by the way. Yeah, I mean, I don't. What? I can like Marvel Rivals, which is a very fun game, but also simultaneously be like, I don't really care about the Marvel IP. Marvel Rivals is fun in and of itself. It's a more fun Overwatch, partially because of the whole lot of ass that it brings to the table, both for the men and the women. You know, it's for the girlies. Waterworld might be the single most base take you've ever had, especially if you go right through the 4-hour Ulysses cut. I'm spamming because I need you to take your flowers on this one. I did not watch the 4-hour Ulysses cut, but I did watch Waterworld, and I actually really liked Waterworld. What game first in your MGS marathon? Twin Snakes. I'm gonna try to put together a MGS marathon, starting off with Twin Snakes, and then MGS2, and then MGS3, and then MGS4. I'm going to play all of them. Instead of MGS1, I'm going to do Twin Snakes. Oh, come on, you know why, not MGS1. You know why. You know why. And no, I'm not going to start with the original Metal Gear that was like top down or like whatever, the 2D one. The reason why I would do Twin Snakes rather than MGS1 is because it's more replayable. Chat, like, you are once again claiming that you know what's best. Let's see what MGS1 looks like, okay? MGS1 gameplay. And I'm sure this will be like an emulator and it'll be touched up too. Okay, normal playthrough.
Headed your way.
You need a PS3 to run MGS4? Just an FYI, I have a PS3. I don't know if it still works, but I have one. I'm pretty sure that is this the high definition remake or something? Spoilers, by the way, bro. I played this game. What are you talking about? Okay, now let's look at Twin Snakes. Okay, Metal Gear Solid, Twin Snakes, GameCube remake.
That doctor.
Hold on. Oh shit, I f***ed it up.
Except for your binoculars.
I wonder which one seems more playable. Looks worse? Okay, you guys are stupid. Shut up. Twin Snakes was chopped up because it's a Nintendo product. Was ass. Don't fall for the graphics. Dude, the difference is insane. Kojima wasn't involved with making it Twin Snakes. Okay, Kojima is not involved with the Metal Gear Solid remake either. And I'm going to play the out of Snake Eater. So what's the point?
Who's that? I'm here to save you. You're the DARPA chief, Donald Anderson, right?
Dude, you are being the same as audio, Mr. Graphic. That's crazy. Dude, you are insane. Visuals are a major part of the watchability of any game. The voice acting is different in Twin Snakes. They changed the script from the original too. Okay, I didn't realize I had this many weirdos in the chat. For the record, I've never played Twin Snakes. I've never played it at all. I have no idea what it's going to be like. I just know that it has better graphics. But having said that, I'm excited to play Twin Snakes. Not weirdos, Metal Gear Solid fans, because MGS is god tier and anti-imperialist based. Yeah, okay, all of the Metal Gear games are anti-imperialist. What are you talking about? What the Metal Gear Solid versus the Twin Snakes? How not to make a remake? How not to remake a classic? Comparison, critique, and review. 667,000 views 4 years ago. Oh my God, Metal Gear fans.
It had to be a great game by providing the player a thrilling experience, and it's consistently entertaining enough to succeed through that lens. I actually think the area where gameplay and narrative overlap the most, that being the interrogation sequence, is one of the game's weakest moments, because when you really step back and think about what's happening, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Ocelot doesn't even need any information out of Snake besides the secret to the PAL key, but Snake doesn't even know that at the time, and killing Meryl has nothing to do with his underlying goals. You can pick apart a lot of the individual scenes within the game like this, but that'd be a disservice to the broader strokes of the narrative, which fare much better. Many people like to say that MGS1 is about the horrors of war, or how nuclear weapons are bad, and while that's definitely true, viewing the game this way limits its applicability to everyday life. Metal Gear Solid retroactively works within the larger theme of the series, that being the subjugation of individuality at the hands of external powers. From the ever-changing relationships between countries forcing soldiers to abandon their personal connections to information being manipulated in an effort to suppress free will, the Solid games are all centered around a man versus machine conflict. Machines that aren't the titular weapons, but instead systems designed to carry out the ideologies of people that have no regard for those that are grinded down and left to bleed out in the process. As I see it, Metal Gear Solid explores this idea in two key ways, the first and most obvious of which is the game's commentary on genetics. This is a slight subversion of the franchise's overarching message, as genetics aren't a result of human intervention, but this theme similarly challenges our sense of control within life. The game's message is that we can't let our genes restrict and steer our personal decisions. That's why Liquid's the bad guy.
You can't fate. All living things are born for the sole purpose of passing on their parents' genes. That's why I'll follow what my genes tell me.
This theme pervades the entire narrative in fairly clever ways. Naomi's a geneticist, the genome soldiers were strengthened through gene therapy, Foxdie specifically targets people by identifying their DNA, both the protagonist and antagonist are genetically related, and the recessive clone of Big Boss is the one who ends up victorious, furthering the idea that genes don't have to dictate our outcome. How this idea is expressed through dialogue leaves a little to be desired, however. Naomi flat out telling the audience what the game was going for robs them of the ability to really interpret the game's message, which would have been sufficient given how well...
Okay, this is, It's literally just an analogy for the default perspectives and behaviors, reactionary ideology, and those who rely on the foundations to justify their clearly unjustifiable actions. The half-official canon is that Twin Snakes is Otacon's recalling of events, and Metal Gear Solid 1 is Snakes. You should absolutely play Twin Snakes. I feel like that's made up after the fact to appease the gamers. Marvel Rivals already down 76% of player base. The game ain't lasting another year. Meanwhile, Overwatch is still going strong after 10 years. I wonder why that is. Maybe because Marvel's Rivals is a slob. You're an Overwatch purist. It's a better game. Overwatch going strong is so funny. Overwatch more like overblown. Overcooked. Overwatch co-op in 2025 is crazy to hear. Overwatch fans in 2025 is like the last Japanese soldier on the Philippine island, still going strong after 30 years, refusing to leave its military position. You haven't encountered Team Fortress 2 fans? No, I know. Overwatch has 20k players on stream. Rivals right now. Rivals has 100k players. LMFAO. Yeah, but it lost 75% of its player base.